What's up, YouTube? Welcome to More Trades. Okay, I decided to do this stream, bit of an urgent stream to see where we are in Bitcoin and what to expect next, as we're having volatility at the moment coming in. What I see Bitcoin doing at the moment is that we are rising up, possibly to the 0.618 retracement of where we came from. I will be showing you that in detail if you just stay to the end of the stream. I'll appreciate it, and you'll get so much valuable information of where and when I expect these targets to be hit. Short-term targets are as shown. You can see in the charts that we are very close to my short-term target. Let me just get the music. Alright. So yeah, as for BTC, at the moment we are going up, pumping up, trying to retrace this move from up here. This is on the 15-minute. If you go on the hourly, you will notice that we got this move a few days ago. We got a move down, and where did we bounce off? Let's try and see. Let's pull some fibs from the low over here to the high over here, and we got a reaction at the 0.618, and at the moment we're going up to hit that golden pocket. What am I waiting for at the golden pocket? As we hit the golden pocket, I'm waiting to see the reaction. We can see it now live, and let me put on my indicators. We're getting some volatility, and let's look at the volume. This is how I look at the chart, and let's look at it. Volume slightly increasing, stochastic attempting to cross up, and the MACD is flaring upwards. We didn't get a cross down in the MACD to confirm to me a sell signal. At the moment we're still pumping up. I will be looking at, I was showing you that I took it from the top over here of 19947 to the bottom over here of this wick, and that's my fib retracement. And at the moment, looking at this, we are clearly hitting the 0.618 and getting a slight reaction over there, with a slight increase in volume, nothing big. But the next candle opens red, and if it gives me my sell signal, I might be jumping in for a sell, as in go short on BTC. If you want to enter here, you enter with a tight stop. That's my non-financial advice. If I was to enter here, I would enter, well, I think, yeah, I would enter with a tight stop, because it's looking like it's about to make another attempt. Recently, we've seen BTC do two things. I saw it not stopping at the 0.618, and I've seen it getting to the 0.65, and I've seen it getting to the 0.8 fib also. So it wouldn't be out of the norm for BTC to pump all the way up here between 740 and 750, and that would be a 78 to 80% retracement of the move. If you feel more adventurous, then you could go at this rejection at the 0.618. Possibly another tap of the 0.618 would be a point you would consider, as BTC seems like it's about to make another attempt up. Any of you have a problem with Binance? Sometimes you set a stop loss and it just disappears. I have that problem with Binance. I set up my stop loss, and once volatility picks up, like if in this instance, I would have my stop loss could disappear. I'm not very happy with that scammy move that they have, or is it a glitch? And if you're not aware of it, then your whole position will be taken out and you'll be liquidated, possibly out of your entire account. and you'll have no one to cry to. I mean, they would respond, but they're not very helpful when your money's taken, and you wouldn't have any proof of that. Maybe you wouldn't even see it in your order history. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin. What I'm seeing Bitcoin now doing is what it usually does, taps a 0.618. We didn't get a strong rejection over there, so it doesn't tell me that it wants to stop. It's still trying to go higher. Let's look at our volume profile. Where is the value area high of our volume profile? I think I'm gonna get rid of that for now, and then I will take this as my new range, and I'm gonna take my volume profile tool and put it in this range from here to there, and let's see, we're above the POC. The value area high comes at 19,856. That's also a possible target, and I wanted to know that where we're getting rejected now is the 200 EMA in the 4 hourly. So there you go, more confluence to possibly a reason to take the trade. You can see over there we have the 200 EMA at around 19,617, and we're very close to it, and we're getting a reaction. Bitcoin may pump above the 200 EMA, but a lot of times we start falling after that. We hold for a few candles and we start going down. Now, looking at this next candle, it might be our signal. If we want to go short or long, or I mean, I'm looking at shorts. We are in a bear market, and you could long or short, but your higher probable trades would be shorts when you're in a bear market. Now let's look at this. Our stochastic on the 15-minute, we still have 10 minutes on this 15-minute candle, and it's still pointing up. We are above previous resistance that I had for a long time, 19,527. Getting support there, so we might continue a bit higher. We stochastic, as I said, pointing up. MACD looks like it's flying up. We'll only know on the next candle. At the moment, if I go to the hourly, do I have any divergences? On the hourly, we have higher high on price action, and this, my friends, is a signature that market maker is building a position. We could be coming down soon or eventually. Now look at that. We have a high over here in the indicator stochastic, and we have a higher high, so nothing there. Over here we have a high, higher high. No bearish div, no bearish div. Obviously, if we're considering this as a move up, then we want to see hidden bullish divergence. That is a lower low on indicator and higher low on price action. And as you can see over here, we had a low, and we had a higher low, and over here we had a on price on the indicator we had a low and a lower low. This is hidden bullish div. This is on smaller time frames. I mean, the macro trend is down, and hidden bullish is a continuation of the trend. If you're looking at the macro, this would be invalid, but this is on a micro aspect of the move. So looking at this on the hourly, it tells you that, okay, when you see this over here and over here, at this point you would say, okay, there is a high probability, depending on where we are in the chart, on support or resistance, that will start bouncing up. So you start moving up from this point over here. And if you go on the daily, we were probably, that was at 19,127, the POC, and over here 19,160. So somewhere around there, you're above the POC, you're close to it, and you're getting some bullish div or hidden bullish divergence, and you'd say, okay. Now on the 4 hourly, we had a high and a lower high. And over here we have a high, lower high. We don't have any bearish div on this micro count. Over here we had bearish divergence. We had a high and slightly lower high, or maybe flat over here at a high and a higher high. So that would tell you, okay, we are at the value area high, which would be resistance, and we have bearish divergence, lower highs on the indicator, higher highs on the price action. That is bearish divergence, and will be continuing possibly to the downside. That's how you would look at it. And you would be waiting for the reaction of that. Now once you see a reaction, this is on the 4 hourly, it will take a long time, take 4 hours. You'd see the candle come down. You would enter possibly in that second candle if you want, with a stop loss above, but you see we came all the way up. Some people take the trade on not the first rejection or the first stab, they wait for the second stab, then they enter. Another thing, it would be a riskier trade, though you have bearish divergence, but you're at support. You see how we got support, then we pumped up, continued lower. And I bet you if you look at this from the low to the high, it could be around the 0.5 or 0.618 fib level that we bounced off from. Let's try and see. Let's take it from the low to the high. It's not the 0.618. Let's turn on the 0.5. I'm just trying to show you how I do things. And the 0.382. Very close to the 0.5 after the 0.382. So somewhere around that region. Okay. I have this yellow box here. This is a point I'm keeping my eye on. If Bitcoin comes down here to this, green box, 18.6 to 18.7, that is the 0.618 retracement from this low to the high. I mean from this low to this high. So just keep an eye. Market will get volatile now naturally. That we'll be having the US Brinks box. That's just before the US markets, the New York Stock Exchange opens. And I use this indicator, shows me the markets. At the moment we are at the London session. So London and Europe have their time to play around until the big boys from New York come in and react to the action. We don't have much of big news this week coming that will affect the market. However, we have earnings, which is a market mover. So if we go to Forex Factory, excuse me, and we look at the 17th, which is today, we have Empire State Manufacturing Index. It came out negative. That is not good for the dollar. So it came way lower than forecasted. So essentially, that should really be bad for the dollar and pump Bitcoin. Let's look at the DXY. The DXY is tanking as expected from that. So we could expect Bitcoin could even come higher than my targets that I have here. Could come up to yeah, Bitcoin can exceed this 1-to-1 extension and take last week's high with this news. I mean, there's nothing much affecting. We have earnings. Let's see if I can find earnings. Let's see if I can find something. Biggest 10 earnings calendar, Nasdaq. Yeah, this would be interesting. So today is the 17th of October. We have Bank of America. Okay. Anything? Tech stocks. I can't see any tech stocks. I might be wrong, but I can't see anything today. Let's see, 18th, Johnson & Johnson, Lockheed Martin, that will be interesting. Netflix, So tomorrow we'll be having these: Netflix, Lockheed Martin, some banks. Let's see, the 19th, Wednesday. Tesla. So Wednesday will be interesting. IBM. So they're spread throughout the day. I mean throughout the week. Let's see what happens. What is Bitcoin doing now? Bitcoin is trying to go up. And to be honest, looks like a juicy short to be taken, but a risky one. So in my opinion, this is a bit risky, but it is a juicy short to be taken. If we go to the 15-minute, yeah, this is the 15-minute candle closing in 2 minutes, and we'll see what the next candle does. 5-minute, showing a rejection, stopping volume candle there. You see in red with a wick up and a wick down and a small body. We had one here in green, and we had a pullback. So will this be an indication of a pullback or a final strong pull down? I doubt it will be, since it's I feel that it's earning week, so we might be having some small rallies in anticipation for earnings. Okay, 1 hour. I'm looking at this indicator that shows me the order blocks. You could see them without indicators, but I like to use it sometimes. We have an order block here, a fair value gap. You see we went up and the 0.618 is in it. And my green box down here is at a fair value gap. And that's basically where you have an extension of candles. You have long candles that happened, sudden moves, extended moves, I would say. And you could see that with your eye, and you could see like there was consolidation or something. That would be an order block. See over here, this is on the hourly. We have an order block over here, order block over here, some small consolidations over here, order block, and a fair value gap. So let's see how it goes. 4 hourly, and we might even come up to this order block over here, this wick, this order block over here, 20k. That would be lovely. That would be lovely for Bitcoin. If we come up there and say we come up all the way up there, close to 20k. There you go. Close to 20k. Let's see. Okay. 4 hourly. Say Bitcoin decides to come up close to 20k, 19.8, comes value area high, wicks up like we did over here, and continues lower. That will show us, oh, we're breaking the 200 EMA like what we did here. We broke it only to come back down and retest it, go down, retest it again, continue down. We might be doing that. Now, in sense of patterns, let's try and see, can we see any patterns at the moment? I mean, we are the triangle. I don't look much at patterns, but usually people mark out triangles just randomly, but triangles usually need like 5 touches, but you could mark them out, I guess. But I think that we are forming a W with a big first leg down and second leg. And if you zoom out, let's switch off everything. Now over here, some people maybe say this is a cup and a handle forming. And if we look at it as a cup and a handle, you have a measured move from the top of the cup to the bottom of that. And you take that, and you take it to the top over here, and you say it could take you to 22k again, back to 22k. So yeah, there are many patterns you can find. You can look at the hourly, maybe you'll find a head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders. If you stretch it, you could say, okay, over here we had a abnormal left shoulder, irregular, sorry. Come here, left shoulder, head, and now right shoulder. Okay, something like that. And we had a breakout, and our measured move from, let's take it from here, say from here to here, and we take it at the breakout point, and you see that we hit it. So there are different ways of looking at that, but that was an inverse head and shoulders. And had you taken that breakout trade, you would have been in a good profit. I don't personally, I mean, usually I don't take breakout trades. They're very risky. They could be fake outs. But trading is risky. You do your own research, and you decide whether you want to take the trade or it's too risky for your pockets. Everyone's different. Risk tolerance is different for everyone. So now if we go to try and find out how far could we go in this move, let me just take a trend-based fib extension over here, and we go from see, if we say this was a move down, an impulse, then this is a correction, an expanded B wave. So we had a move down which ended over here, what Elliotticians are saying, and this was an A from down here, so you take it as an A, and this was an expanded B, really stretched B, ugly B. And just a minute, let me do it again. From A to the peak of A, and it will tell me where C can get to the bottom of B, which is down here, this wick. C essentially would expect it to go to the 1-to-1. This is overstretched, so doesn't give me accurate reading for that. What if I say, okay, this was the end of wave 5 down of that impulse, and this is A to the end of A to the end of B over here. Our 1-to-1 for this move would give us 21k, so we could come to 21.3 to complete that C wave as a 1-to-1. It is a possibility. It would be a beautiful possibility. I wouldn't mind Bitcoin going up. I will try and trade it every way possible, even sideways. I don't usually trade sideways, but you can make a lot of money trading sideways if you're quick in, quick out. Okay, that's the next 15-minute candle. We didn't see a follow through to the downside. Will we break the highs? Will we exceed the highs and make new legs up? Now let's see about that. If it does, then if Bitcoin starts taking 19,580, then we would expect possibly it could go up to 19,750 is a possibility. But let's not rush. We know how Bitcoin acts, and I like the US Springs box is open now, so we might have crazy spikes up and spikes down. Bitcoin could do this. Now that we opened the New York Stock US Springs box is open, I'll give you an idea of what I'm expecting Bitcoin to do. Where is it? Oh my god, I can't find it. Yeah, let's go. Bitcoin is here. I mean, we're here. We might do this, and continue down. That is a possibility. We'll just double top over here and continue lower. So I would be waiting to see the market's reaction. Don't rush. The markets will always be here, but just wait and see. Have your 4-hourly 200 EMA there. Watch it for possibly tap or wick up, and then you enter. That's a higher probable trade. The 0.618 is also a high probability trade. That's where Bitcoin likes to reject 200 EMAs, and the 0.618 are its locations where it likes to reject or reverse. But this could also be considered as a cup and a handle. And let's look at the measured move for that. That's from up here to the bottom over here. You go to the bottom and you take that and you say, okay, we could break up. What do we see? value area high as a possible target. Value area high, exceed the 200 EMA, take out the order block that we saw we have over here, and then maybe continue lower. It's also a possibility. Possibly come up here, double top out, do something like that, and continue lower. Or it could just be going higher. But if you are to be taking higher probable trades, you have to know what you're looking at. You have your Fibonacci levels, you have your 200 EMA that's just around here, and your value area high just around here. Then you're set. Then you have nothing to worry about. You just sit and wait. This is a game where the impatient pay the patient. No way around it. It will always be the impatient paying the patient. The impatient is a liquidity for the patient, and we need to be patient. So, okay, so our targets. These are our targets for Bitcoin. We have, this is a target. I'll keep it in red. Red is where you short. This is another possible target. The thing is about these targets, they're all very high probability. Look, if I put all of these high probability targets and all around the same range. So I would like, it becomes easier when you just draw out a zone. You say, this is my rejection zone. Then you just watch the zone and you watch the reaction in the zone. So my zone is between 19 at the moment, 19,570 and up to 19,855. So I would just wait for the reaction of Bitcoin at these are my two main targets. 200 EMA that comes close there. 200 EMA is down here. Value area high is up here, and I just wait for the reaction in the zone. So I'm waiting for Bitcoin to come in here and top out. Now let's see, is the DXY gonna give us a pump or is still gonna tank? Now we need to know where the DXY sits. If you look at the DXY, we're coming down here. We had a small demand wick over here. So are we going to get that demand wick again? We've been forming recently after this. You could say that DXY, some sort of shoulder, head and shoulder. It will try to form a shoulder and continuation to the upside. Or you could say it's rounding or double topping. But if we take it on the hourly and look at it, we have the DXY in an uptrend and having a trend line of support. There you go. So even if the DXY comes down now at this very candle, which would bring it really low, 110, we have this level of support at 111.836. So DXY could retrace to here and just continue up. I remember a few weeks back we had the DXY doing something like, when was it? I think we were somewhere here, and it looked like DXY is going to double top and start coming down, and someone pointed out that it's some dragon pattern or something, that it does this and comes down then continues higher, and that's what happened. And it's doing the same pattern again. Well, not exactly the same. The first leg up is higher than lower. Over here we had higher, we came down, and possibly here it looked like it's lower and we continued up. So don't be fooled by the DXY. The American government wants the DXY to remain strong for the time being with the issue of inflation. We know that the Fed is going to give a 0.75 basis hike coming in November, I guess. So that's something to be aware of. They're not going to slow down. Either this 0.75 might be priced in. People are already used to it. They might be like, oh, it's just 0.75. We've had it before. It's not 100 basis points. But if things show very positive, like unemployment rates are going lower or something like that, and other things, the CPI, PMI coming in good. The Fed might even go for 100 basis points, but they have 2 more basis points to increase this year, and I think they announced that they're not going to increase. They're going to increase 100 in total. So maybe one will be 75 and the other will be 25. Now let's look at traditionals. These are very important for Bitcoin. This is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, this is on the 15 minutes. Looks like we're having strength in the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is up 228 points. The Dow Jones is up 420 points. And once you see that, then you know that we have more upside, very possible. Because when we saw this other day, when the Nasdaq was up from here to here, see this? The Nasdaq was up 221 points around this time, like an hour after now from markets open. And Bitcoin on that same day, the 13th of October, at that time, Bitcoin was here on the 13th of October. It was this candle when Bitcoin was in a small red candle and we had this move up. So just be aware, Bitcoin might pull a fast one. Now let's look at the Dow Jones. 13th October, around that time we were here. The Dow Jones was up 548 points from now and counting the next. Look at that, the Dow on this candle, the Dow Jones was 347. Now we're 423. This was the next candle, next hourly candle from where we are now, and Bitcoin had that move up. So be aware that there might be a nice move from Bitcoin. Let's look at the daily for the S&P 500, the daily, and I want to look at the Bollinger Bands and see where are we on the Bollinger Bands on the daily. The Bollinger Bands look like they're about to vomit downwards. We had this pullback the other day, we opened green, but I expect we could come down. We got a rejection from the mid Bollinger Band. That tells me that the SPY, the S&P 500, this is the S&P 500, sorry, that's a SPY, it's ETF of S&P 500. We had a rejection. We might have a possible bump up in green and continue lower. It tells me that we might have more downside. Looking at the MACD, we are about to cross bearishly. We had weak green momentum the past week, and stochastic might come up. That means we might have a slight move up. Stochastic will come to the oversold. This is on the daily and continue lower. Looking at the 4-hourly, rejection from the midpoint. MACD about to cross bearishly. This is on the 4-hourly. On the hourly, stochastics coming down, MACD is crossed, rejection, and we're coming down. So I think the S&P 500 might have a green open and continue red for the next for the rest of the day. The Nasdaq, on the other hand, we are on the hourly breaking the upper Bollinger Band on the 4-hourly. This is on the hourly. We did it the other day. We came up, bumped our head, and continued lower. Let's look at the 4-hourly. We're above the mid Bollinger Band. On the daily, we bounced off and we're kind of getting support at the lower Bollinger Band. The Dow Jones on the daily, we're above the mid of the Bollinger Band, which is really good for the Dow Jones. That tells me Bitcoin might have a bit of green this coming, maybe, unless this is a fake out. On the 4-hourly, we are getting to that upper Bollinger Band where we got rejected. We have an order block around here which might reject us. We're getting resistance. On the hourly, we are breaking. In fact, this is a trade trick that people use. Once you get the first breakout of the Bollinger Band into one direction, you'll get a few candles following through. So this is, if this closes like this, then you might have a few more candles following through, or even more. Looking at Ethereum, let me look at Ethereum and put on my indicator, my goggles, my vision goggles. So this is Ethereum. What levels do I have? 1328 was always resistance for Ethereum. We're very close to that. In fact, we got rejected at 1326, but we might be continuing higher to this order block over here. This is zone over here. We might come to last week's high. It's very possible for Ethereum. But my big resistance for Ethereum is over here on the 4-hourly. We have the 200 EMA coming somewhere around this region, and we have 1407. To the downside, support for Ethereum, big support is at 1000. That's major support. But we have this demand wick over here. If we come down, we might come down, take it out, last week's low, and then continue higher. Back to Bitcoin. Let's look at my Fibonacci channels and see what's the next point. I have this level of resistance. I have the 200 EMA incoming shortly. I have this level of resistance, 19,692. We might wick above it and come down. If we continue higher, then we might come. This is on the 4-hourly. Let's go on the hourly. Okay, if we continue up, then we're having strong candles coming in. 20,054 is my fib level. Have that in mind. Fibonacci level from the Fibonacci channel, 20,054 on Bybit. Just keep in mind, I'm giving you a target. That is a possible rejection, 20,054. Bitcoin looks like it has a few more legs up. Let's look at the other chart. This is a Binance chart. Okay, we're hitting that green box that I told you to keep an eye on. We're breaking in, maybe. Yeah, we're showing some strength. Volume. Not much of tick volume, not many hands exchanging money, but volume is going lower as we're moving higher. When you see volume going lower as we move higher, you need to be aware this may be the end of it, but we need to give it some time. Don't FOMO in. So look at the 4-hourly. Looks like we want to go to that 0.65. Okay, we're in the zone that I gave you. It's a wide zone, unfortunately. So you have values to look at. You have the 0.618. You've broken above it. So let's get rid of the green box. You're above the 0.618. So let's go on the 5-minute. You're gaining strength above the 0.618. And my 200 EMA is coming in here. And my value area high is over here. And I'm getting some momentum, 2.65. See a red candle over here. Why would I have a rejection here? Look at those candles. This is when you see an overextended move, we might just come and recover this red candle. Exactly. That's just liquidity recovery. Look at that, and you'll see the precision. Okay, I'll change the color of that line. I'll make it a bit thicker, and let's make it to bright yellow. Look at that. We might come all the way, kiss this line, which will coincide with around the 200 EMA, and continue down. So let's look at that, the 5-minute. Let's see if we're gonna come all the way up to that candle. We have recovered more than 50% of this candle. .618 again, rejection. Stochastics are pointing down on the 15 minutes. The MACDs are still flying up. So we might have a bit of a retracement coming in soon. Alright, if you haven't already, click the like, smash the likes, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you in the next update that I have. Just be aware of the levels I gave you.